Dr. Daryl Carter is an associate professor of history and an author at East Tennessee State University. This morning he has graciously agreed to join us as we continue our discussion and celebration of Black History Month. Welcome, Dr. Carter. I appreciate you being here today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We just went through a very unique time in the history of this country where we transitioned power. America, we always have a very peaceful transition of power. This one was a little different, though. We went from our first African-American president to our new president, Donald Trump. Put this in perspective for us as we're celebrating Black History Month.
Well, I think that we need to understand how important that presidency was from a symbolic standpoint. To have a first African-American president in a country that largely built on the backs of slaves. And the normalization of equality between races and genders and sexualities has been absolutely terrific and important during the last 15, 20 years, and Barack Obama's presidency demonstrated that.
You wrote a book called Brother Bill about President Bill Clinton's time in the Oval Office. Talk to us about that book and put it into context of how our recent history. Talk to us, fold that in, and tell us about how that just is leading us up to this point.
Well, thank you. And the book is called Brother Bill, and the book is about President Clinton's relationship with the African American community, right, and the issues of race at the end of the 20th century. So we're talking about how the African American community politically developed after the Civil Rights Movement. And we're talking about issues such as welfare, crime bills. We're talking about race initiatives. We're talking about affirmative action. We're talking about a whole host of issues about where is America at the end of the 20th century. And to that end, you can't have a Barack Obama or George W. Bush without Bill Clinton, because he helped to normalize the understanding that this was normal to have African Americans in the White House, in the administration, in senior executive positions, that they were no different than their white predecessors. And he made it acceptable in the public eye to have these types of individuals, whether it's Barack Obama or it's Governor Deval Patrick of Massachusetts or any of the others, to be in the public spotlight in a political role as opposed to, say, a sports role or an athletic role.
As we're celebrating this Black History Month right now, this very crucial time in the history of our country. What is the one thing you try to get across to your students in the classroom as we're going through this time of transition?
Well, I try to get across to them that it's about equality. It's about treating everybody as if they're a human being, because they are. Treating people with civility and respect. And that, quite frankly, Chris, is something we haven't seen a whole lot of during the past 16 months, as both Democrats and Republicans have become increasingly incivil, increasingly belligerent, and increasingly disrespectful towards one another and towards the American people. So I want my students to understand it doesn't have to be that way. We can be disagreeable, but be respectful of one another, and that everybody has something to contribute and bring to the table.
All right. Dr. Carter, thank you so much, sir.